Alright, for this next part I'm going to be working on these servos. These are large servos, they're high-tech HS 805BBs. They're pretty big boys here, and I need to take these apart and modify them so that I can use these for the shoulder and elbow in the Inmoov robot. The reason why I have to take these apart is partially because I got to take the potentiometer out of here and relocate it in the elbow to detect the elbow movement, so the angle that the arm is at. So relocate it there instead of inside of here, which means this servo is going to have to rotate more than 360 degrees around several times before that elbow is into the right position and the potentiometer reads that. So the second thing I have to do is I'm going to have to trim off the little plastic stop that keeps this servo from going beyond its intended angle. So those are the two things. And I'm going to start, I guess. I have done this on some other ones. I haven't done it on these before. So, let's get to it, see how it goes. I'm going to start by taking out these bottom screws. These are pretty long. They go through the whole case up to the top cover. And I'm not sure if I've got to take off all 6 or not. I'll figure that out here in a second. I probably will. Probably should anyway, because there's a board down on the bottom. I may have to desolder a board too. We'll have to see how these are laid out. It all depends on the way the connections are. A lot of times the motors are soldered straight into the board that's in the bottom of these. So that means you have to desolder the motor itself off the board to be able to separate these. So I'll figure that out here in a second. Yep, yeah, it looks that way. So you can see in this, it looks like this connection here and this connection here are actually the two poles, the connection of the motor itself. This is the bottom of the motor, the DC motor that that controls this gearbox. It looks like these are the posts for that. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to desolder these 2 points before I can separate this to pull it out and get the potentiometer off. So I can either do that first, or I can check this out. So the top, if I take this cover off, inside you have this gearbox. You have to be really careful. So I don't want to misplace these gears. There's only one way they can really go in, but I don't want to have to sit and figure out the puzzle. This, however, is the stop that I have to take out. You can see this piece here, it sticks out. That's what will stop it from rotating. I gotta remove that. Probably trim it right down to the post. I'm not sure if I have to remove everything and take that out to do it, or if I can do it in place. I'm gonna try and do it in place. Let's see what happens. See if we can do that first here. Take this bearing off. I've got these nippers, and I'm hoping they're enough to do the job. flush as possible. There we go. That went flying across the room. I think that pretty much took care of it. There, it's gone. Alright, so that will rotate 360 degrees. That was really easy. So you can probably put this bearing back on and get this back together, because there's grease all over this. I don't want to disturb any of that. What we do have to make sure is that these 3 pins get seated back into those holes. They should pretty much seat themselves because I haven't really disturbed much. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so everything that's back together. So that part is done. That's really awesome, because that could have been a lot harder. The trick now is going to be to desolder these 2 connections. And I'm not sure that I have exactly what I need here. Let me see. Yeah, I might. I've got some wick, some desoldering wick I can probably use for that. And I have this soldering tool which has a temperature control on it. I don't know how accurate it is, but it should work. So let me take a break and set some of this stuff up, and I'll be back and we'll take care of desoldering those points. All right.